Things you should know. This is your weekly reminder. If you're new here especially, please check the back of your bulletin so you can see all the great things that are happening here this week. If you want a bigger calendar, we have paper monthly calendars outside at the welcome desk. Please feel free to take one of those home. Just to let you know, this service, as every service, is being live streamed, so smile, you're on candid camera. March 4th, we have the Justice Social coming up at Hotel Venezia, 4:30 to 6 p.m. Consider going. It's a lot of fun, and you meet a lot of like-minded people. Next week, March 8th, is our final shareholder meeting, and this is your chance to hear all about our UCOV finances, share your thoughts on our future, and find out where your money is going. So it's really worth going to and being able to ask questions. We do that at about 11:30, right after the service here in the sanctuary. So next week, hang around, bring your questions. If you have any questions today, you can see John Spitzer or Marcia Smith or Barb Gundy. The upcoming Save Democracy for All conference on March 28th is coming up faster than you would think. We have keynote speaker Catherine Stewart talking about Christian nationalism. I'll be co-facilitating a workshop, and I believe Rich is going to be moderating that, Rich Canarelli. We're asking if you can, go to Faithify. I've got the link on InTouch, and you can get it from me. Go to Faithify if you got a few extra dollars and help support this event. We're making it free for everybody, but that means we have to raise the money. I want to do a special shout out to Rich Canarelli this morning because most of you may not know this, but he got us Catherine Stewart. That man put in hours of work. Right there. He got her to come. Must have been some slick talking, Rich, because she didn't want to do it originally, but he got her. I think that's all I've got. So Wayne, and then Jean.
So last year's auction, we had a great time a year ago. We even had a greater time this year. So we had more people attending, we had more items donated, and we raised more money. We went from $12,000 to $13,200. That still may go up further. So we've got a bunch of Native American artifacts that were donated that we decided to take to an auction house. That auction will take place in about a month, and hopefully, well, I know the number will go up, I just don't know how much higher. But again, thank you everybody for making it a great success.
Good morning, I'm Jean B, and today being the first Sunday of the month, it is Birthday Sunday. So I hope you'll enjoy birthday cake out there on the lanai after the service. And today we are looking at we're looking at Jane, Tom, David, Enid, Mary Lou, Nancy, Barbara, and another Barbara. You know who you are. So, thank you. Let's do a little bit of honor to them. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Oops.
I like to do this. The chalice lighting today is titled A Wild and Holy Vision by Sean Gibson. Now we'll see if I can light it. Okay. We light our chalice in the spirit of transformation. Nothing stays the same. Everything moving, shifting, changing. Guide us all to a wild and holy vision of our shared humanity. So, good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Venice, known as UCOV.
Good morning.
We're glad you're here today. Our service this morning is about Ramadan, the holy month observed by Muslims around the world. Ramadan this year is from Tuesday, February 17th through Thursday, March 19th, a season of fasting, prayer, service, and spiritual growth. It's also a month that gathers people together around family tables, in community, and in the shared hope that we can become a little more grounded, a little more grateful, and a little more compassionate. If you're new to learning about Ramadan, you are in good company. You don't need to arrive as an expert. Just arrive with curiosity and respect. In Unitarian Universalism, we trust that wisdom is not limited to one tradition, one book, or one people. Today, we lean in and listen for what we might learn from our Muslim neighbors and what practices like intention, self-discipline, generosity, and community might awaken in us. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, whether you come with deep faith, deep questions, or a heart that's just tired and looking for a little peace, you belong here. May this time together be a gentle resetting of the compass, a chance to breathe, and a reminder that none of us has to do the work of becoming fully human alone. Welcome, and we're glad you're with us. Lisa.
Good morning, everybody. It is so good to see your faces here today. It was so good to see so many of you here yesterday at the wonderful library event we had. Thank you again, Cathay, and all the volunteers who did that. It was gorgeous. You know, before we really get started, I want to say, I hope you know it's always a brave choice to come to church. Not because we're going to make you do anything weird. We're Unitarian Universalists. We save the weirdness for committee meetings. But because showing up means that you're willing to be in community. And community is beautiful and special and heartwarming and occasionally like herding cats with opinions. And we're so glad to be here to do it together. Today in community, we're exploring Ramadan. I'll tell you, it's been a tough day and a half to think about that. We and Israel attacked Iran in the middle of their holiest month. While they were fasting, while they were praying. And we bombed them. We didn't even do it in person. We sent one-way unmanned drones. And we wreaked devastation. I don't know if that devastation was called for. I don't know if devastation is ever called for. There are claims there were nuclear weapons and we had to stop them. There are other claims that say, yeah, right. So it gives this service today a heavier weight as we learn about what this holiday means. And then we realize we bombed people in the middle of it. I don't think I could easily do a month of fasting and prayer. You fast from sun up to sundown. That includes water, cigarettes and nicotine vapes, sex. You know, my first thought is always, wow, that is such an inspiring thing to do. And my next is, how would I expect others to approach me if I hadn't had any coffee or a vape all day? And the answer is with great trepidation from a safe distance. But part of what makes Ramadan so powerful, it's not about the eating or the drinking or the doing without actual things. It's about making room. It's about remembering what matters and training your heart to be less self-centered and more community-oriented. It's about training yourself to be less swept away by impulse. When you have that hunger or thirst, it teaches compassion. You remember the people for whose scarcity is not a spiritual practice, but a daily life. And Ramadan says to all of us, look, you can do better. This is your reminder, you can do better. Not you are bad, but you can do better. And that resonates. We like to find wisdom wherever there is wisdom. For most of us, there's a belief that spiritual practice should make us kinder. And we know the world doesn't get better just by accident. So this is an invitation. You don't have to be Muslim to learn about Ramadan. You do not have to fast to actually reflect on the things that matter to you and that you truly hunger for. You don't have to get everything right to take a little step forward toward more compassion. So we're going to begin grounded in gratitude and open to learning and ready to practice the kind of love that has room for neighbors we haven't met yet and that our country may be bombing. Come, let us worship here together. And we're going to rise in body or spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, and we'll do it 3 times through. service when we do our offering, and every week I do it with a joke, because giving shouldn't hurt, and you should have something to laugh at in the morning. So God stopped by to speak to a UU preacher, and the preacher had one question. What is heaven like? And God said, well, heaven is like a city. It has the best in everything. For example, the Lutherans run all the potlucks. The Unitarians plan all the parties. The Quakers are the police force. The Mormons lead the choir. And the Catholics design the robes. The Jews and the Muslims together design the architecture of heaven itself. Wow, said the pastor. So, what's hell like? And God said, well, the same groups actually do most of the same things, but then they have to fill out the environmental and social impact statements for the Unitarians. Here's hoping for heaven. The morning offering will now be given and gratefully received. Thank you so much for these gifts, for everything you do for the life and the work of this community, and for just being here. It's as a community of human hearts and human hands that we come together here to be with each other as we struggle with our sorrows and to celebrate when we reach our joys. So if you have something to share, please raise a hand, and Tom or Tony will bring you a mic. We ask you to please keep it to under a minute if at all possible.
I have such joy from yesterday. Oh, I'm Kathy, the librarian. I have such joy about yesterday's event at the library in Waters Hall, and everybody that showed up, and the honor that we had for UCUB volunteers, yes, but UCUB authors, living and deceased, and maybe far away. It was just so wonderful to lift up and meaningful in that books and knowledge and the sharing and the communication that's represented by libraries and books and what authors can do. It's really important. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Wanda Sade, and I bring greetings from my church, which is the Boulder Valley UU Fellowship in Denver, Colorado. And my celebration today is that I found my people.
Hi, I'm Michelle Green, and I have a joy today. After sons and 3 grandsons, and a long and emotional IVF journey. My middle son and his wife gave birth to our first granddaughter. Yes. So we're very excited. And if you know anything about IVF, they have 3 more viable embryos that are frozen and waiting. And guess what? They're all boys.
I think this side is shy today.
Hi, I'm Kim McHugh, and on behalf of the Green Team, I would just like to let you all know we have nice plastic cups out in the lanai of freshly picked star fruit. My husband and I have been simply washing them, slicing them, throwing them in stir fries, putting them on the grill with fish or meat. They're wonderful, full of vitamins and minerals. And after the service, if anybody is interested, I've actually had a couple of people come up to me today. One said she didn't even know we had an edible garden. So we have the pollinating garden here, the edible garden at the side of Asta Linda, and there'll be a few of us out there after the service if you want to come look. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tina Putney. Members of the church, Stephen Palmer Merkel, arrived from New Jersey last night, and she immediately had to go to the hospital with respiratory emergencies. And just to let you know, and keep them in your prayers. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
I lit one extra candle this morning for our country, for our world, for the people of Israel, the people of Iran, for the people of the Middle East. May we find peace. May the love of this community hold all who need love and concern. And may the light of our community shine on the broken places of the world. May those who are grieving be comforted, and those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed, and may those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant.
For our first selections today, we start with a round that's in our hymnal, Alhamdulillah, which means praise to Allah, and we'll follow that with circle chant.
Alhamdulillah,
Thank you, choir. That was lovely. The first reading today is titled Ramadan Lantern by Anwar Ghani. Anwar Ghani is an Iraqi poet and writer. He was born in 1973 in Babylon. His name has appeared in many literary magazines and anthologies, and he has won many prizes. One of them is the World Laureate Best Poet from WNWU. He writes, "When you touch me, I do not stand near the faint window, but I open all the bright doors, the doors of a very strong and very shapeless breeze. Oh, Ramadan, the rain of touches that reach every story in my weak body, in every region in my soul. Your touch is a soft candle. Yes, your touch is a new white flower. When you smile at me, I do not wait behind the absent window, but I see the true doors, the doors of endless time and unlimited place. Oh, Ramadan, you can imagine my very intense and very shapeless happiness. When your soft whispers flow deep in me, I will never be near the salty window, but I will be immersed in warm doors, the doors of swimming in a stunning river, disappearing in a very strong and shapeless sea. Oh, Ramadan, let your lantern to touch my cheeks and draw a beautiful spring on my eyes. Let fasting immortalizes my body out of the water that will gone and the food that will perish. Let my body know its true existence, and let me see my real body without food or drink. O Ramadan, allow your lantern to shine in my depth and to color my soul with unforgettable chants. The meditation today is from Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, sermon welcoming the holy month of Ramadan. Through your hunger and thirst, remember the hunger and thirst that you will experience on the day of judgment. Give charity to the needy and poor. Honor your old. Show kindness to your young ones. Maintain relations with your kin. Guard your tongues. Look away from that which is not permissible for your sight. Close your ears to that which is forbidden to hear. Show compassion to the orphans of other people, so compassion may be shown to your orphans. With these words in mind, please join me in a moment of silent thought, meditation, or prayer. Thank you, Lisa. That was beautiful. The second reading is titled Ramadan Home by Summer Abiyati. Ramadan, you bathe me in your moonlight as I kiss the ground in gratitude for you. The neighborhood is still. The dreamers, lost in the movies and their minds, have no knowledge of the dawn, of the sliver of light, that gazes towards us, reminding us that hope resides in prayer. My lips drip with the watermelon juices, reddish pink like blood, but sweet like life. Thirst suppressed for the moment as my desert-parched lips cracked from giving up, letting go of desire, of need, over and over again. Each day, taste the momentary, moistening miracle provided by you. And each bite tantalizes my tongue while the fragrance of date palms tickle my nose and fronds awaken yearnings once again. And I and you, beloved, I and you become one. It is as if the breath of cardamom whispers the name we long to know. Allah ha, Allah ha, Allah ha. And my body returns, my heart remembers, and Ramadan, never forgotten, entices me back to love, and I am home once again. Please rise in body and spirit and join in singing number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open. We'll sing it through twice.
I know my soul.
Reading through on the internet last night, listening to news coverage yesterday, one of the things that shocked me, and I saw it several places, was people talking about the terrible Muslim god Allah. And the first time I saw it, and I've seen this before, the very first time I saw it, I sat there for a long minute thinking, do you not understand how languages work? And then I realized we treat the word Allah differently than we treat the word God in other languages. So I want to say this up front. When you see Allah, that is the Arabic word for God. There isn't another one. It isn't like we're calling this God Allah and then there's God. If you talk to an Arabic Christian or an Arabic Jew, it's Allah. That is the correct word. But unfortunately, this language is the only one where we don't translate the word God. We use Allah. If we are talking about French Catholicism, we say God, the American word, when we are talking about it. If we are talking about Hispanic Catholicism, when we talk about God, we say the American word. We say God, the English word. We don't use the Spanish word. But when we're talking about the Middle Eastern version of God, for some reason, we use the Middle Eastern word. And it causes a lot of confusion in folks who aren't interested in asking deeper questions. As far as they're concerned, this is some special, different God that isn't their God or any God that they've ever heard of. It's this Muslim God. And so whenever I talk about Islamic holidays, I always want to bring that up first so you understand this isn't a special, different God. This is just the Arabic word for God. But today I don't really want to talk much about linguistics. What I want to talk about is hunger. Now I know a lot of us get up at 7 a.m., eat half a thing of strawberry yogurt, and are shocked when our stomach starts sending us evil emails about 7 p.m. when we've forgotten to eat all day. I'm not talking about that kind of hunger. The hunger I'm talking about you can't fix by getting a Snickers or a bag of pistachios or a quick dinner. It's a hunger for meaning and a hunger for clarity. A hunger for a life that feels aligned with your values. Maybe even a hunger to be less reactive and less scattered, less consumed by consumption. Put bluntly, it's a hunger to be the best you can be. To put down the bad things that you see in your life and pick up the good ones. And be fed by those, be nourished by those. And Ramadan speaks to that version of hungry as well as the I need a Snickers version. It's always the 9th month of the lunar calendar, which means it moves around. It's a month of fasting and worship and service and gathering together in community and spiritual development, and it's also one of the 5 pillars of Islam. So it is a foundational practice. This is something you either have to do or mindfully not do, but there's no ignoring it. So during Ramadan, every Muslim who is able fasts from dawn to sunset, so typically no food, no drink. There are exceptions, of course. This is not meant to be punitive. If you are quite elderly, quite frail, quite young, if you're sick, if you're pregnant, you're not expected to do this. It's meant to be a month of training your heart. And I know a buddy of mine's first reaction when I was practicing this sermon was I'd be training my heart to hate everyone eating those crackers over there. And I get that. I get that. Spiritual practices are rarely glamorous. The point is not to be a saint. The point is to be more awake and more in touch. And we should get this a little bit because we always say deeds, not creeds. We may not be sure about what we believe about God or prayer or salvation, but we're pretty sure we should feed the hungry and welcome the stranger and keep our promises to one another and not bomb girls' schools. We're pretty sure of that. Ramadan braids all of this together. Generosity and joy and dwelling in community and learning. And it can teach us, even if it is not our primary tradition, and we're not going to appropriate the culture. I did not send you out emails last week saying, hey, do me a favor and let's practice fasting today. That turns a religion into a zoo exhibit. We're not doing that. This is not a novelty. We're just learning with humility as neighbors. And we're grateful for any wisdom we get from something that comes from beyond our own shelves. Now there's a phrase that many Muslims use at the start of actions. They say Bismillah. And it means in the name of God. And for those of you who are thinking, I have heard that word, yes you have. Queen. It's in their music. And if you have ever heard the words, I see a little silhouette of a man, and that's ringing through your head, there's a chorus of Bismillah. In the name of God. I am not doing this mindlessly. I am not doing this thoughtlessly. If you are an atheist, it would be not Bismillah, but with mindfulness. That might be your phrase instead, with mindfulness. I am committing to doing this in a way that I am thinking it through, not just reacting, because I am not 3 years old. If you hand me a marshmallow and say, if you can hold this marshmallow for 12 hours, you will get $1 million, I guarantee you there will not be a bite taken out of that marshmallow. We are not 3. That is what Ramadan is all about. Learning to become not 3. Ramadan wants to know, what are you doing on purpose? And what are you doing because you jump to it before you can catch yourself? So much of our lives are accidental. And I think about that every morning. I wake up, I open my eyes, and what's the first thing I do? I grab my phone because I want to know, is it warm? Is it raining? Oh, and while I'm here, I might as well check my email. Oh, and the news. Okay, what's going on? And by the time I've stopped, I've spent 45 minutes scrolling along. I didn't mean to. I didn't even think about it. How many times have you sat down with a bag of chips or a thing of cookies and you brought the whole bag in because you were in a hurry? That's what you tell yourself. But you look down and all of a sudden half a sleeve of cookies is gone, or maybe the whole sleeve. Half that bag of chips. You didn't want a big snack, you just wanted a bite. But you were watching television, or scrolling on your phone, or maybe talking. And before you know it, you did something you didn't plan on doing. Those of you who were smokers back in the day, how many times did you go to a cocktail party and you took one pack of cigarettes and you thought, well, I'm not really a smoker. And you got home and went, where the heck did that pack of cigarettes go? I spent all night talking and not thinking. And I accidentally smoked a whole pack of cigarettes. Accidental. And it's not just your actions, it's your mood. You get up in the morning and you're doing that doom scrolling, or you're watching CNN, Fox News. And by the time you get to breakfast, Your partner asks you how you're doing, you say, oh, Mike, fine. Let me tell you all about what's going on in the world and why I am in a terrible mood starting right now. You didn't mean to be in a terrible mood, it just happened. We eat without tasting, we speak without listening. There's always something coming at us. And Ramadan says, nope. No more than that, just nope. Put it all down. Put it down. You have 1 month for this to be interrupted. It's not about food. It's not about the fact you cannot go to McDonald's today. It's about taking a breath, taking a break. The space between impulse and action. And this ain't buying an ice cream. So 2 minutes isn't going to get it. You need a month to say, you know what? My life has been plowing along on this train, heading this way. And I'm going to take a month to say, is that where I want my life to go? It's just got there, one step after another step after another step. The last thing I did deliberately was go to senior prom in 1958. How did I end up here, married to my prom date with 3 kids, 16 grandkids, 2 houses and a dog? It just happened, one step after another, and Ramadan says, stop stepping. Stop stepping just for 1 month. Take a breath. You are more than what you want in the moment. You are more than what you wanted in the moment 50 years ago when you made some decision that sent you along a track. So take a breath. Admit to yourself, I can feel desire and not act on it in the minute. That's the small level. I can refuse the ice cream, I can refuse the sex, I can refuse the cigarette or the alcohol right in this minute. And on the meta level, I can refuse to keep going because I have momentum in a direction. I can refuse to let my own rolling momentum roll right over me because I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go here. Ramadan says, okay, you're at the station. You're paused. You can rewind, you can go backwards, you can go in a different direction, you can go anywhere you want. This is not a fallacy of sunk costs. You haven't wasted anything. It's all led you to this moment of pausing to decide what you do next mindfully. It trains the heart in patience, in humility, in understanding you do not have to eat a mountain with a spoon. You can take tiny bites. You can spit them out. Part of Ramadan practice is that practice of intentionality, of deciding for yourself, whether it's every day, every week, every month, set an intention. Not set a perfection. You may not get this right. You may not even get to it. I intend today to be kinder. You may screw today up from the floor up. You may be the meanest thing that your house has seen since the last time a cave bear wandered through. But you didn't mean to do it. You at least had a 1 minute section of time where you thought, I'm going to try to get this better. It's not a big bite, but it's a bite. And maybe tomorrow you'll have 2 minutes before you're a jerk. You know, I know some days I'm a rotten human being before my feet hit the floor. I yell at the cat, I grumble at Nancy. And then I take that minute and say, okay, I'm going to try better. I'm going to try harder. Mind you, she's usually laughing and the cat has bitten me at this point. But the reminder is to take the time to decide how you want to be. And then try. and understand you're going to make mistakes. So why the fasting on top of all this? Well, it's not there to make you proud of the fact that you can do without. It's there to make you soft-hearted. There are people who are hungry all the time because they can't help but be hungry. Ramadan lets you experience a little bit of that. It opens your heart to experiences you normally don't have, not just hunger. It's also marked by charity and service. So Ramadan asks people, okay, we know you give your normal offering, that's a required part of Islam, but during Ramadan, could you give a little more? For the poor, for the hungry, for the orphaned. Any religious practice that doesn't make you a little more kind-hearted, a little more compassionate, any fasting practice that doesn't do that, it's just a diet with religious branding. It's not a spiritual practice. And Ramadan says you have to do a little more. You have to put your money where your diet is. You have to give away something. You have to help others. You have to keep love at the center. And that resonates for us. Our newest statements, when we reworked the bylaws of the UUA, puts love firmly at the center. Ramadan offers a very simple spiritual equation. If you're practicing your faith and it doesn't deepen your care for the vulnerable, you are missing something. And Ramadan is the example. So what are we missing? What do we need? Where's our hunger? And what are we willing to do about it? Both as individual peoples and as a congregation. We're not there to be saviors. We're not there to be heroes. We're there to be neighbors. We're there to be people who understand that our world is held together or torn apart by compassion or its lack. And community is a big part of that, finding your neighbors and being kind. You know, Ramadan, at the end of the day, when the sun goes down, they break their fast with a meal called iftar, shared in community, and families get together. They invite friends and neighbors. People who might feel not welcome or lonely the rest of the year expressly get sought out and told, come and join us, not for one night. There's a hope that their being together, them meeting you all at an iftar, will help them to remain friendly with you throughout the year and come to more things. It's a start, not an end. And we live in a culture that is really good at privatizing anything. Faith becomes what I believe in my head, and wellness is what I manage on my own. Struggle is something I should shut up about. But Ramadan says, come to the table. Come, whoever you are, come to the table. Come and break bread with us after sundown. Come and be reminded you are not alone. Come and let your body and spirit be held by others. This is the part that we need. The part that welcomes others in and invites them to be one with us. That says you are my neighbor, even if you don't look like me or love like me or worship like me. Come, whoever you are. And it's a message we need to hear right now, written in capital letters and underlined 3 times. Without community, we are nothing. Without love, we are hollow and worthless. So may we say to our neighbors this week and every week, our Muslim neighbors, our Jewish neighbors, our Christian neighbors, our neighbors. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, please, we're waiting for you. Come, yet again come. Amen and Ramadan Mubarak. As we extinguish this chalice flame, may the light we've kindled here go with us in patient hearts, generous hands, and kind words. May we make room for what matters and carry peace into the world. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn this week, number 86, Blessed Spirit of My Life. Guided by intention, strengthened by community, made brighter by compassion. Peace, Ashe, and may it be so.